You can make some really good chimp strategies with Silas getting 2 tier 5 ice monkeys like double absolute zero or double icicle impale if you want. But what if you do 2 super brittles? Now this sounds really weird, so I decided to try it, and it actually is better than you would expect. So let's go check this one out. So basically, what will 2 super brittles do? Well, the thing is that it does not stack, so you aren't going to be able to get plus 10 damage. You're only going to have plus 5 damage. But basically what this will do is that it will get a more consistent output of plus 5 damage, because it's going to be attacking like twice as fast. Well, there's 2 of them, and then plus we'll have whatever Silas buffs, so all the layers will more consistently be getting this plus 5 damage debuff, which is something. It's not really a crazy thing though, but it's something, I guess. It's going to be able to affect twice as large of an area to the parts that it doesn't overlap, so that's something too. Not really worth spending a whole nother like $30,000 with the discounts. Actually, it's a bit less than that, like $27,000 with the discounts for twice as much area effectiveness, especially when you can concentrate the damage all up. But the thing that it does is that the super brittle actually does a lot of damage. It does more damage than you could expect. You'll like put super brittle down in a game, and at the end it will have like 400,000 damage. So being able to do that plus the damage, it might not be that bad. So with all those together, we're going to be going for a super brittle, double super brittle in Flooded Valley Chimps here, and let's go for it. So if you can't notice already, I'm going to be getting a whole lot of destroyers up here. It's just going to be a lot of destroyers with the 2 super brittles kind of on each side, Silas in the middle to work things out. I decided to go for Flooded Valley because there was really not a whole lot of maps that had great super brittle like potential in the expert list, especially something that you can just spam a lot of projectiles. On a lot of easier maps, this will actually work a lot better because you can get these boats in a better spot, or if you don't have spots for the boats, you could switch over to doing overdrives, which is a bit more powerful, I'd say. But on expert maps, this doesn't really work out a whole lot. This is a pretty good example. Of course, you could get like other things to work out on other maps, but it would be a little more janky and not as effective. I wanted to try to find something that really worked well with using super brittle as like a spam thing, so I decided to go for this. I also could have done it with super monkeys. The robo monkeys with super brittle aren't that bad. It's not a terrible combination. Could work out pretty well on like something like dark dungeons even, but I'm just gonna be going for this here on Flooded Valley. Going for like the mid game and early game was very easy. Just got Silas down the reactor and started spamming a whole bunch of boats. And with this, unlike the other Silas strategies, I should not need anything for round 100, which was the famous last words, because I ended up needing something for round 100. It wasn't too bad though, and I still ended up with a good amount of spare, so I was honestly kind of surprised. But all the other rounds like 98 and 99 went down. Actually, they didn't go down fairly easily, but for the amount of cash that I was holding on, they still actually surprisingly went down, and that's just kind of something that very surprised me and will probably surprise you. The super brittle just does straight up a lot of damage for itself too. Alright, going into the late game, you can see the pop counts of some of these guys. The two super brittles each have 200,000 on round 93, and that's just going to be going up even more, especially when we get Silas to buff all of them. The other Silas abilities that will be coming into play aren't really going to do a whole lot. They're not really going to do much of anything at all, but the level 10 will be useful for clutching up on something like round 98 and on round 95. From there, I am going to have to get a few more destroyers. I just didn't really have enough damage for 96 and certainly not 98 with just this. But the one annoying thing is that these spots kind of suck for destroyers. They're much better when they're closer up, but the ones that I have to get far out are getting a lot less value than the close up ones, which is something that I really didn't like because I couldn't get anything else that would work out better. I was thinking of going for maybe an aircraft carrier instead. That might have been a better option, but oh well. Lastly, on round 97, that will go down easy, and then on 98, I had to get one icicles. There were just a bunch of like ceramics that were getting through, and this icicles really helped out. I ended up having to get a glue strike for round 100 so that icicles can be completely replaced with the glue strike, which would basically do the exact same role as the glue strike would, and it would allow me to beat round 100. So that was something that I guess could be improved a little bit, but going into round 100, I have a monstrous amount of cash spare, 68,000, which is very, very good. So I can just get glue strike now and pop this bat open. I thought I'd be able to take out 100 on itself, but unfortunately not. And with the glue strike, I obviously bought that ice monkey. The icicles over there wasn't really needed. So realistically, like 64,000 cash spare, 64,500 cash spare, which is pretty crazy, a lot more than I thought. It's not as good as other Brickle strategies that use boats, but pretty cool. Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!